If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it?
Hey people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a very interesting video as always. You guys know we always have banging conversation here, amazing conversation here. Okay, so let's just get into today's video. So today's video is a video of a sister who came online to ask the question that, you know what we see a lot of toxic relationship, unhealthy relationship on social media, and people sharing their story of unhealthy relationship. And she went on to ask that, you know what, people in healthy relationship, please can you people share so that you can give some of us hope that there is a healthy relationship out there. And the sister posted out this video, and the response to this video really got me like, anyway, and I feel like this is really different from a lot of the things we talk about here on this channel, because sometimes we really point like there's a whole lot of drama going on when it comes to relationship, especially the relationship between a man and a woman. There's always that energy, but you guys know how we do it. There's no one size fits all. When we're saying oh men are bad, we didn't mean all men are bad. Okay, when we're saying relationship are toxic, we're not saying all relationship are toxic. There's still that tiny percent. Anyway guys, let's go check out this video and hear the sister's question and people's response to the sister's question. Then I'll come back and share my own thoughts, because hey, your girl has so much to say about this video. So grab something to eat, because this video is quite a long one, because people were giving story time and all that. So grab something to eat, or probably play it in the background as you're doing something for the holiday. But yeah, it's going to be a long one, but it's always going to be interesting as always. With that all said, guys, let's go hear other people thought, and then we'll come back and talk.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it? I'm stuck in the algorithm on TikTok where it's just a bunch of horror stories from women and men with bad behavior, and many of my relationships reflect that dynamic too. But I believe in love, and I want love still, and I know I'm not alone. I know how important it is when you're trying to attract something new into your life to find examples of other people who have that thing. And so this is my attempt to find examples and to get some healing, and I think it would be healing for a lot of other women too. Definitely. Who are still looking for love in spite of all that they've been through. So anything that you're comfortable sharing would be great, from how you met to what you love about them to what the dynamic of your relationship is like, what they do for you, what you do together, if you've ever had a big argument and how you've gotten through it, like anything that you want to share. And if you think your story is too boring to share, you're probably exactly who we need to be hearing from. Just stitch this video, tag me in it, and I'll be sure to repost it on my page too. If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it? I'm stuck in the
Not only am I in a healthy relationship with a man, I'm in a healthy relationship with a black, attractive, high-earning man. I think that's important to note, because a lot of black women, especially who want and to desire to marry a black man, feel like they might have to settle. And no, you don't. I have been with Jonathan 6 years. We got married 3 months ago. And when I tell you that I have never once since we've been together had to worry about who I was going to get with him. If I had to give him a nickname, I would call him Mr. Follow Through. Since the very beginning, Jonathan has been what he's talking about, okay? I remember when we first started dating, we would plan dates on like a Sunday, and like almost every day leading up into the Friday date, I would be like, are we still going? Like, are you still excited? And finally one day he sat me down and he was like, stop asking me that, because if I say that I'm going to do something, it's going to get done. And he wasn't lying. The original creator also suggested to talk about your life with your partner, and that's such an interesting thing, because so many people have asked us, how has our life changed since we got married? And honestly, it hasn't changed that much, and that's because I knew exactly what to expect when I married Jonathan. I think something that social media like puts in our heads is that every day has to be exciting. Every day has to be this grand gesture, or whatever the case may be. And honestly, what I find so joyful about being with Jonathan is that the everyday things are some of the things I enjoyed the most. Like today, we were on a walk. We walked to go get coffee, and Jonathan looked at me and said, I'm so happy with you. And that is what we do very often with each other. We tell each other in real time, no matter what small task it is or what small thing we're doing, I'm having a good time with you. Like, this is fun for me. And so that we understand that our day-to-day life is enjoyable and we love doing it with each other. So I know we can get on these apps and we feel like, damn, everybody complaining. Please know that there are people out there who probably are just silent because they're just having a good time walking down the street. let me know if you want to hear more about my boo, because I love him. And also, I'm going to throw a picture at the end because we just got married, and why not? Bye!
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it?
So my relationship with my husband is the most healthy relationship I've ever seen in my life between a man and a woman in a romantic relationship. Okay. Growing up, I did not have any examples, so I'm like super proud of our growth and our maturity, especially considering the fact that our marriage is still very new. We've been married for almost 3 years now. Okay. When I tell you this man is my best friend and my #1 supporter, like, if I tell him that I want to do something, he is going to be rooting for me through and through. He financially invests in my endeavors, in my ideas, in my dreams, and he just speaks so much life, and he's always affirming me in any possible way that he can. He is very reliable, like the most reliable person that I know. If he tells me he's going to do something, I never have to question it. He's going to show up for me time and time again. And I was just having a conversation with him, and we were talking about how, you know, when you're in a healthy relationship and you have a healthy partner, someone that is really there for you, you both win. You're both the prize. And I'm just so grateful for him and the impact and influence he's had on my life, because our relationship, our marriage, our friendship has genuinely helped me grow. And I feel really lucky to have him. And some other qualities that I want to really highlight about our marriage is the fact that we've created such a safe space within our relationship. Like, we are constantly talking to one another in a way that makes us feel heard, seen, understood, and validated. And because we have such a safe space, we talk about everything. We talk about our deepest thoughts and dreams, and I just feel so comfortable with him. And I think because we have created such a safe space, it's helped us both grow as individuals. And, you know, the trust is just real. It's really, really there. And I felt like it was important for me to stitch this video because as a Black woman, you know, I could imagine that it feels exhausting to be on social media and see so much toxicity between men and women, especially Black men and women, like seeing the gender wars. But I just wanted to share because I wanted to encourage any woman that good men still exist. There are reliable men out there. There are trustworthy, honest men of character, and, you know, don't lose all hope and all faith. And I empathize that it may be difficult to find those men, but they absolutely do exist. And the man that you need, the man that you want and desire and deserve, he is out there for you. So just keep the hope.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it?
Hi, Brittany. I would say my relationship's healthy. We met in college. I kind of just came home one day from a late class and he was on my couch. He knew my roommate and she basically was like, hey, come meet my hot roommates. And he was like, cool. And that's how we met. About a few weeks later, he asked me out on our first date. He was very forward, knew what he wanted, and he definitely liked me more than I liked him at first, but we definitely got there. Yeah, it was just easy. It was easy. And that's what I appreciated growing up in a very religious, very conservative standpoint. I don't want to play games. I don't want to waste time. If you like me, then let's do this. And he liked me and he was like, yeah, let's do this. I like you. I want to be with you. And it was easy. Communication was easy. He very quickly became one of my best friends. And my mom always told me, marry your best friend, and I did. He's funny, he's kind. I can talk to him about the same stuff a million times over, and we still find things to talk about. But, yeah, everything was just easy. There was at one point where we had been dating for only about like a month and a half, and the way school was set up, He had to go home for a while and work. So that meant long distance. And I wasn't sure how I felt about that. But we didn't even have a discussion about it. Like, should we break up and then we'll just talk? And like, I just was like, all right, see you when you get back. Like, there was no discussion. It was just like, well, we're staying together. We'll just be long distance for a few months. It wasn't even a question, you know? And that's how it's always been. There's never been a question. He is my ride or die. We call each other eternal homies. It's kind of a ex-Mormon joke. But yeah, he's my eternal homie. And it kind of feels like bragging, talking about having a healthy relationship, especially on this side of TikTok where, you know, these trash men, which there are a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like my marriage is perfect, because it's not, but no marriage is perfect. No relationship is perfect, but I feel like ours is pretty good. He is always in my corner, and I am always in his. We've had people tell us we come off as intimidating, and I'm like, no, you're just intimidated. Because we know who we are. We're secure in ourselves and in each other, and we're good. So yeah. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you find something good. Someone good.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it? I'm stuck in the algorithm.
I would love to. It's loving, it's caring, it's very healing. I don't feel drained emotionally and physically. Our arguments are discussions. We are not yelling back and forth at each other. We're not calling each other out our names. We're genuinely solving problems, and if one or the other person needs to take accountability or apologize, we do that. It's respectable, like, I hope I'm saying that right, but like, we have respect for each other. It doesn't come without like little ups and downs, but the ups and downs are not toxic. They are just normal ups and downs. Like, you know, maybe I don't like the way he cleans, so I may mention something about the way he cleans, and maybe he doesn't like the way I do something, and you know, it's not a toxic up and down situation. It's just a very like healing relationship, especially coming from a very toxic relationship that I was in for 15 years. I know how he feels about me. I never have to question it. Even when we're in like a disagreement, and because I'm still working on myself, so I still have days where I'm upset with him. He'll still cook for me. He'll still show up, and I'm really learning through him how important that is, to do the same. So when I say healing, that's what I mean. I just want to say that there are good men out there. You just have to be patient with yourself. Take dating as a journey, and don't be hard on yourself when things don't work out the way you think they're going to work out with certain individuals. Just take your time. Just enjoy the journey. The person meant for you will find you, because that's exactly what happened in our case. And we knew immediately we were meant to be, and we are going to be welcoming our first baby together soon. So
Congrats.
Everything's going great.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this?
So my husband and I, before he was my husband, we were just friends. Anytime we hung out, it was in a group setting, because that's the way it was. So birthdays, holidays, group friend trips, house parties, etc. And it wasn't until he moved out of state for a work promotion that we actually got closer. Because at that point, you know, we were calling each other, checking in, text messages, etc. A few years later, he moves back to Colorado, and we literally hung out for 2 weeks straight. And at that 2 week mark, he basically was like, listen, I've liked you. I've always liked you. We clearly get along. Can we try this out? And see, I'm a girly that separates church and state, because if the relationship goes awry, it's just going to mess up the friend group, right? So I talked with the homie, and she basically was like the center point for all these friends, right? Everyone knew her. She brought everybody together. And so when I chatted with her, I basically told her what was going on. And she was like, listen, if you do this and you break his heart, I'm going to kill you. Mark my words, that's exactly what she said. And I was like, damn. Like, I know I could be a little heartbreaker, but okay. But then she also said to just pursue it, like, fully. Like, don't play games. Like, if you're going to do it, like, fully. So, at that point, I gave it a chance. I brought together church and state. And we've been together ever since. We've been together for 10 years, married for 5, friends for 20. And it was the best decision I ever made. Because he was a man who was patiently waiting for me to essentially mature. Because I was a player. Okay? I was a player. Anyway, he treats me well, encourages me, compliments me, supports me, listens to my crazy, can see my hard work, determination, passion, and through our relationship, I think we've made each other better people. So yes, there are healthy relationships out there. And sometimes it might be right underneath your nose, hiding in plain sight. But ultimately, I guess the challenge is being ready for it. Because had he tried to approach me when I was wilding out, when we were just children basically, it probably would not have manifested the way it did.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about
Okay, I wanted to stitch this video because the whole TL has been filled with Simone Biles' husband and the way he's been acting. I don't even care about that. But I'm just going to talk about this week what my boyfriend has done for me since I've been sick. And first thing, every morning I wake up to a cup of tea. And once that tea is done, or once I'm done drinking it, he's bringing another cup. So there's honestly tea always boiling on the stove. Second thing, he made egusi soup for me. If you're Nigerian, you know, like, to even make soup yourself for yourself is taxing. I don't even make soup very often because I'm too lazy. He made egusi soup for me. I was like, oh my God, I'm craving rice and stew. He literally made rice and stew from scratch. Like, I didn't even do anything. He just, like, Googled the recipe, whatever, and did it himself. He's taken my dog out I've not lifted a finger to do anything. He's just like, rest, I'll take care of everything. He's like got me, I was like, oh my God, I'm craving noodles. Went to get me noodles and like just made sure I've been okay and not lifted a finger. And I've been watching K-drama since. But yeah, this is just to encourage you guys that there is love out there and you deserve it. Bye.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it? I'm stuck in the algorithm.
Let's talk about it. I've been married 11 years. He still brings me coffee every morning. He grinds the beans and makes me a latte and brings it to me before I get up. We have 2 children and he co-parents like you wouldn't believe. They can be 100% taken care of by him without me being here. I can go away for a week and they will be fed and have clean clothes, and he takes them to school and he knows their teachers' names and he knows their dentist names and he knows their doctor's names. He's fun and silly, but serious in the fact that he's an adult with an adult job, and he really understands the need for women, me, to feel secure and loved and be in my feminine energy. He thinks I'm funny and he thinks I have good ideas. And when I say to him, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but hear me out, he gets on the edge of his seat and he's like, oh, give it to me. What are you gonna say right now? Because I know this is gonna be good. He is down for anything. We are leaving for London on Christmas Eve with the family and going skiing in the Alps. And I was like, hey, can we just go to London for Christmas? And he's like, yeah, of course we can. We're not super rich or anything. We have flight benefits, so it's like $200 for the whole family to fly. Just prefacing that. he is down to clown. Like, I suggest it, he's in enthusiastically and meeting me halfway. He loves Christmas, he loves holidays, he loves decorating, he goes overboard. He's a willing participant in our life, in our marriage, in everything.
That's great.
I want you to get on healthy, happy relationship TikTok, and that's why I'm saying all of this. I can honestly say, and I do say to anybody who will listen, that the key to a really good relationship is to get involved with somebody who you are friends
Right.
with, who laughs at your jokes and thinks you're awesome and wants to hang out with you. My husband gets off of work and rushes home because he can't wait to hang out with me and the kids. He's not sitting in his car in the driveway rolling his eyes. That's not this man. And there are a lot of men like this man. And there are a lot of men that love being married, that love having a partner and having a wife. And I don't want you to lose hope, because they're out there.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it?
I've been with my man for 4.5 years, and I really never talk about it online. It just doesn't seem, it's just not my vibe. It's not either him or I's vibe. But I really love this video, and I wanted to chime in and give some of my experience. He is about to be 29. I am 27. We met when I was 22 and he was 23, he was 24. So we were really young when we met. Matched on Hinge. I know. We moved in together after 4 years of dating. We waited a long time to move in together, and I'm really glad, and I love it so much. I was very much very hesitant on moving in together because I love my independence. I've lived alone for a while. I love it so much. But him moving in has honestly been so much fun. He's genuinely my best friend. I'm his. There's no other person on the planet that we would rather spend time with. Genuinely feels like an equal partnership. He's not a deadbeat, not helping out in the house. He does the dishes, he helps, he does all the same things that I do. He takes care of the dogs, which are technically my dogs. He takes them on walks in the morning. I always handle the dogs in the morning. He always handles the dogs at night. He's a closer, I'm an opener. It's what works best with our schedule. Never really had to get super in depth on that. It just is what naturally happens, and it's equal. He does dishes way more often than me because I hate doing dishes. He buys me flowers. He makes me coffee in the morning and sets it by my bed. Almost every morning he makes sure I have my water bottle that's full and next to my nightstand, so that way I start drinking water because I'm really bad at drinking water. Reminds me to drink water all the time. He makes sure I've eaten. Every day on his way home from his morning workout, he texts me and asks me if I need anything or want anything. He's gone down to the coffee shop below our apartment and prepaid for my coffee because he knew that I was going to go later. Yesterday, our dog had a vet appointment and he wasn't going to be able to make it, but he rushed and made it and just waited in the lobby with me. There was no need for him to actually be there. That tells you any type of how he will be as a dad. He gets me my favorite drinks. He gets me my favorite snacks. He knows what my favorite drinks and my favorite snacks and my favorite foods are. He helps me out with my business when I need it. Every time I go shopping, he asks me to do a try on haul for him when I get home. Every time while I'm out thrifting, he asks me to text pictures of what I found while I'm literally in the car. He always has his hand on me in the car. As we've gotten older, since we started dating when we were so young, we've given one another opportunity to grow and change because our brains have fully developed and we are different people than we were when we were 22. I can be my genuinely weirdest, most crazy self in front of him and he still loves me and jokes with me. We both can be insanely weird and we can cry and there's no shame or judgment or embarrassment or anything. He bought us matching ornaments at Target yesterday. We've done long distance for a lot of time while we've been together and he had flowers sent while he was in a different country. He's planned entire weekends and trips without me doing it. He's got the car, he's done all the planning. If I asked him to go get groceries, he would just do it. He wouldn't need to know where things are. He wouldn't need a list. He could just get me groceries if I asked him to. He makes our bed in the morning probably more often than I do. We let each other go do things that we enjoy separately. We aren't on top of each other all the time, but we still get to come home and be together after. I'll go out with my friends, I'll go play pool, I'll go to the bar, I'll do what I want to do and I know he'll be waiting for me and he's not mad or bothered. I wear whatever clothes I want that make me feel good. He's not like, oh my gosh, you can't wear that, because literally I would never be with someone like that. Regularly will send me pictures of our dogs while I'm at work because I can't be home and he's home with them. He makes me breakfast a lot. He texts my mom sometimes and I text his mom sometimes. It's never bashing on each other. We're just chit-chatting with your mom. I know that if there was any circumstance where I needed this man, he would show up for me, and vice versa. He was stranded in a foreign country and I immediately bought him a flight home, didn't think about it. And I know he would do the same for me. We are partners, we are equals, we are best friends, and all of these things go without really having to say at this point. When I'm crying, he will literally wipe the tears off my face because it makes me laugh. And all of these things aren't really that special or exciting. All of these things should be happening all the time in any relationship, in my opinion. We will gossip with one another. Anytime I want to talk about somebody that he has no idea who it is, he's all ears. He's pausing the show. He's setting his phone down. He's listening. I'm going to all his games and he's going to all of my special events. He decided to do Thanksgiving at home this year and he cooked half the stuff. Because again, we're partners, we're equals. Yeah, we don't really take each other on extravagant trips and do all these. He's not buying me a Birkin or a Chanel, but we are equals, we are partners, we are best friends. And that man is the love of my life.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it?
Woo! So, y'all know I don't usually talk about my relationship. It's very private to me and it's very healthy for me, but I understand that there are people who are trying to find images of Black love to help see the positivity of Black love, which is part of the reason why I use this platform to talk about Black love romance novels, because I believe it exists and because I actually live it. I have been married for 10 years and I've been with the same man for 14. We have a very healthy relationship. Before we were married, we went through premarital counseling. After we were married, we went through postmarital counseling. While we have had ups and downs like anybody else, because we grew up together. We were in our early 20s when we were dating, and now we're in our mid to late 30s. So there's a lot of growth that has come along with that. So it bothers my heart when I see Black men get on some of these podcasts and bash Black women and try to give relationship advice. And most of these men are in unhealthy relationships, have many broken homes. And when I say broken homes, I mean they have multiple baby mamas living in different areas. Their kids are not growing up underneath the same roof as their significant other. Yet they bash relationships, especially Black love relationships. I don't have experience with that. I have a very healthy relationship. My children see healthy Black love between a mother and a father, a husband and a wife, because we genuinely do the work and have been doing the work since before they were born. If I had one recommendation to anyone seeking out Black love, it would be stop listening to these podcasts, work on your inner self, and be open to what love can offer. Because real love actually does exist. A healthy relationship does exist. And these people that are on these podcasts talking about relationships are really broken and can't speak from what real Black love is actually about, which involves trusting, vulnerability, honesty, self-awareness, and communication. And privacy, which is why I don't post my husband or my kids. It's very rare if you will see them pop on my timeline, but that's a safe space for me, and I keep it at that. Protect your families, protect your love, protect your heart.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it? I'm stuck in the algorithm.
Brittany, do not let this app make you not believe in love. Trust me, okay? I'm married, I have 2 beautiful kids, and I love it here, okay? I'm just gonna give you a little story time, okay? When I was in college, I had my first serious relationship, and honestly, I thought I was head over heels in love, okay? It was horrible. He was verbally abusive, mentally abusive. I couldn't have friends that I was literally friends with for like 15 years. Homeboy was crazy. And what's crazier is that he ended up marrying the girl that he told me never to worry about. Crazy. And you know what? At first, I didn't know what I was going to do after that. I really did not. And I was literally lost. I moved back home. I had nothing to do. I worked at the mall. I was like lost, okay? And then I decided I took a year off of life
and I decided to just casually date for a whole year. I went to every restaurant in the city of Chicago. I went to every excursion or whatever I wanted to do because I only went on first dates for a whole year because I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know anything. So I just would go on first dates to see like what I liked, what I didn't like, and who I liked and what I didn't like, and what mannerisms I liked and what I didn't like, and a lot of learning and growing. And whenever my friends ask me stuff like that, like about marriage and like anything pertaining to like my relationship, I'm just like, I had to do work on me first. And then when I met my husband, I stood him up 3 times. I was over it. I was dating. I was like, I was in my late 20s. I was like, I'm just going to be the fine, cool auntie. Like, I was set on that life, okay? And then I met my husband, and honestly, he is the best human on the planet Earth. Like, I was just telling like my coworkers like earlier this week, like how my husband literally goes to restaurants on my birthday and drops off my gifts, and like all the workers are like so giddy, and they literally can't hold their excitement when we get there, and like it's always obvious, and I know he does it every year, and like it's the cutest thing, and like and the best part, I get to be myself. He does not judge me. I'm crazy, I'm fun, I'm silly, I be in here doing all kind of stuff. And you know what else? He supports all my dreams, all of them. Like, I said one day, like, I want to like make stuff with a Cricut. Do you know that year for my birthday, he bought me a Cricut? I say, I want a bread machine. My mom buys me a bread machine. I have been making bread. Do you know who is my biggest cheerleader? My husband. He will tell anybody about this TikTok. He will tell anybody about this TikTok. My wife? Oh, my wife does this. My wife does that. I literally am studying to be a breastfeeding lactation consultant. Right now, I'm just I'm just a lactation counselor. But I love to help moms breastfeed. I have a small business that I do not promote at all because I just want to make sure that, like, I don't know, I have all of my credentials, but I do help my family and friends as much as I can, and I do help people in my community. Yeah, so I don't talk about that much, but my husband tells it to everyone. If you're a new mom, I'm sure my husband told you that I teach people how to breastfeed. If you like to bake or if you like to cook, like, my husband told you about me. I know he did. Because he always does. And this is your story on not giving up on love. I gotta go. I gotta get my bread out the bread machine. Bye.
If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about it?
Hey, so I'm excited to jump into this conversation because I'm 100% on board with entertaining conversations and ushering in the energy that is in alignment with whatever it is that you want or you want to manifest in your life. So yeah, let's do more of this type of content, just positivity in general. So the first thing I did was some deeper self-work because I wanted to make sure that the soil of my heart was fertile for love to really blossom and grow in a very adaptive and healthy way. So I began to ask God to bring me a greater sense of awareness and consciousness around my desires, my values, and what is really important to me. So in that, I began to strip away some of the values and expectations and checklists that may have come from outside influences such as family, religion, culture. I really kind of just got in tune with myself, got grounded and centered, and said, what is important to Ashley based on my personality, right? Based on my values, separate and apart from everybody else and other outside influences. The next thing that I think is really important because it really describes the dynamic of our relationship. 4 years in and we are engaged now, and so many life trials and tribulations that we've overcome in just 4 years. What has sustained us is a degree of privacy. A degree of privacy. And obviously we're talking about in a healthy context here. So not like secrecy and, that type of privacy, but literally understanding that in our relationship is an understanding, an agreement between the two of us. Not my mom, not my friends, not other people. It is about us two. And so for us to sustain our relationship and remain in a place of understanding and familiarity, we have to be using our own voices. And I know how hard how easy it is to kind of get caught up with the hearing of other people's voices, be it on the social media, be it reading a lot, right? Like you can really start to, build this repetition and this script in your head that really comes from other people's voices. And that could influence the way you engage in intimacy and relationship with your partner. So keeping my own voice, him keeping his own voice, and us learning and understanding each other's voices has really been critical when it comes to communication, when it comes to trust, and when it just comes to friendship, and us just getting to know each other, and learning how to work with each other and understanding each other's expectations. So I would say definitely that sense of privacy really support our impenetrable trust and understanding, and that sense of awareness and familiarity with each other and with each other's needs. So I just want to encourage the folks out here looking for love, and it's hopeful for love. Please know that people are in healthy relationships. Black folks are in healthy, thriving relationships where they can be their authentic selves. And more than likely, you're probably not seeing a whole lot of content about it because they're actually being private or just spending time enjoying their relationship and keeping other people out of their relationships. But just please know that we exist. And I wish everyone who is watching these videos and these stitches, looking for love, hoping for love, to ushering love in, that you find it, that you have beautiful, healthy, prosperous relationships and families.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way, okay? And let me know down if you want a part 2, because a whole lot of people stitched this video. So let me know if you want a part 2, then I'll do a part 2 of it, because I even had to stop the video halfway because a whole lot of stitch, over almost 2 hours stitches already. So let me know if you guys want to see a part 2, okay? So go down, like I said, share your own thought and let me know your own thought about this conversation. And let us know if you're in a happy relationship and what do you think make your relationship happy and all that. Please go down and share your thought. But please keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way, okay? You guys know your girl. If you've been on this channel, you know that I have a lot to say about this type of topic. You guys know, if you're new on this channel or if you've been on this channel, you know that I have been married for 10 years. I've been with my husband for 20 years. So we dated 10 years, married 10 years. So when it comes to long lasting healthy relationship, I feel like who's not to talk about this, especially from the type of society I'm raised in, that women don't have a voice, but I'm here speaking up and talking. This kind of thing has gotten some women out of their husband's house, but this is where I am. So anyway, so this is me. I'll tell you, like, will I say my marriage is not perfect? Don't get it twisted. So anybody that comes for me, anybody that comes to say, oh, it's all no. You see the woman that was talking about how her husband is always down for anything that she's doing. One thing I want to say, that when it comes to marriage, one person has to be. And it's not because the person is trying to change, or you have to be, for it to work, in my own opinion, my own personal opinion, one person has to really be that person that doesn't go back and front. If the two of you always go back and front and you're hot-headed, I feel like that type of relationship will not work. Between me and my husband, I am the hot-headed one. I'm the one. When my husband is very chill, very laid back. But one of the things that actually laid the foundation for our relationship, because we started dating while we were quite young, and we didn't get married on time, because I think I was 29 years old when we got married. So that's another thing. We took our time dating, even though back then people were like, oh, why are people dating for so long? That if it doesn't put a ring on it. I feel like when you find somebody that both of you are on the same frequency, it's just a whole different board game. And one of the things that helps our friendship, which we have a lot of friendship, and I feel like one of the reasons why we're still together is because we have a solid friendship together. So we have a whole lot of turbulence in our marriage, but you see the friendship, it just was like, I'm angry with you, but we're still here. You get it? So one of the things is that we did not. Okay, let me speak for myself, but I think I can also speak for him too, is that there's a whole lot of transparency and a whole lot of honesty. At least for myself, I didn't try to be anything that I'm not. Like here in my society, there's a whole lot of expectation for a girl that wants to marry a man. Like, oh, you have to be very respectful to his family member, which I agree. Respect should go both ways. That's my opinion. And secondly, you have to do all the wifey duties and all that, which was not something I did. No. I was originally and authentically myself. I said what I said. If I feel like I was missing him while we were dating, I'll pour my heart to him. I love you, I miss you. I was not scared to express how I feel and what I feel about him. And even though when we started dating, he was that type of person that was closed off, eventually he got the vibe, you know what, if I have to be with this woman, I have to pick up my energy. I have to, or else she will not stand up. She will not settle. She knows exactly what she wants. And that was the thing I said in my previous video I posted about our grandmothers. And I said that that's the video I posted before this one, talking about how grandmothers stayed in marriages because they had nowhere to go. My grandmother set the standard for me, so I was very vocal, and she taught me how to put my foot down. She taught me not to be scared to walk away from a relationship that is not serving you. She taught me that. So, and I said my husband got that vibe straight up, oh, she's a strong woman, even though she's young and seems naive. She knows exactly what she wants. She will not put up with bullshit. He gets it. So I feel like those are the sort of things that actually helped our friendship and our relationship, is that honestly, we were very, very transparent. Nothing came old or new. Even though eventually as we grow up, things kind of change because, hello, we're growing, we're adults. Now my husband is in his 40s. I'm almost 40 now. So definitely things will change. Our attitude, the way we see life, the way we see things will definitely change. But that constant communication with each other helps, because I know a couple of years ago, which my husband will come for me for saying this, a couple of years ago, the friendship was good, but the marriage was really rocky. And at that point, that was when I started seeing a therapist. I now pointed out there on my channel how I'm in therapy. I have a therapist. I talk to a therapist. That was where I had to go see a therapist, and a whole lot of things which also helped in my healing. I get it, people. Okay, let me finish my thoughts here. Which also helped a lot in my healing, and also knowing who I am, and a whole lot of trauma and baggage I carry and I serve in the relationship. Therapy helped me. So for you to be in a healthy relationship you also have to work on yourself. You also have to work on your trauma, your health, because you'll be pulling the energy, whatever energy, whatever frequency you're working in, that's the type of energy you put, especially when you're looking for love. I'll say people in early relationship, I pray it keeps on getting better for them, but make sure you do the work, or else it's just going to crumble. When it's early, it's usually sweet. I can tell you, it is usually sweet. Even though myself and my husband, we've been together for long, 10 years, even before got married, the early part of our marriage was amazing. But eventually it went down, and that was because there was a whole lot of trauma on both ends that has not been healed. So I would say, yes, you're in a happy place, but check yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and heal yourself. If you've not been to therapy, you've not healed your trauma, go heal it, because eventually these things are going to surface in this marriage. That's advice coming from me that I've done it for 10 years, been with my partner for 20 years, half of my life. And I'm telling you, if you don't try to do the work, which is, thank God, we started doing the work on time, only God knows where it will have ended. And one of the things too that also keep my relationship, and I said it in my previous video, is that in this relationship, but I call it a relationship, not even a marriage. In this relationship we're in, that we are very honest. We have the hardest conversation, and also there is divorce on the table. That's something we've always told ourselves. If you don't treat me the way I want to be treated, if you don't love me the way I receive love, I want to be loved, I will eventually leave. And same thing goes for him. So that in our head just clicks in our head and makes there's that conscious work in it, like you work and work towards it. Because when it comes to marriage, which it happens to us, there's this place where both of you become very complacent and feel like this other person is not going to go anywhere because we're already in it already. But when you know that this other person can walk away, then you want it, you do your own part. And if you see the person doing their part, like, you just have to work together, because it takes two people to make a relationship work. So be very, very intentional about what you do in your relationship. Am I making sense? Okay, so anyway, I know I've said a lot about in this video, which I still have a whole lot to say. If you guys want me to do a part 2 of this, I'll do it. Let me know, because I still have so much to say. If you guys really want to hear more of how I'm able to have a relationship like this for 20 years and still be myself and don't lose myself, let me know down in the comment section. I'll do a part 2 of this video and also speak more of this. But those are some of the things. Always love yourself, always take care of yourself. Oh, there's one thing I also want to point out. One other thing too is that, especially as a woman, especially as a black woman in my society, one of the things that also help this relationship and also help it to look like, you know what, I can walk away, is the fact that I make my own money. That is a key point. I have to point it out on this video in case I don't do the part 2. Make your own money as a woman. Keep your own hustle. Have your own money. And there's this different level of respect. I think in my relation, there's this different level of respect when you know that, okay, she get her own money. She can take care of herself. She's with me because she wants to be with me, not because just what I provide for her. She's with me because she wants to be with me. Same thing the other way, like me knowing that he's with me because he wants to be with me, not because of what I do for him. Like, it has to be that way. So that also help a relationship, because most time, like in my society, most men always feel like, oh, it's because I take care of her, it's because I take care of her family, I can do whatever I want. Like, so women, please get your mental health, heal yourself, heal your trauma, and get your money. Work, hold your money, have your money, invest, do your thing, okay? Hustle, okay? Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know your thought on this video down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. Like I said, if you want a part 2, let me know down in the comment section and I'll do a part 2. With that all said, guys, please go ahead and share this video. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting your girl. With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.